What's up YouTube? It's JB Tech Fanatic and I'm back again with another video. As always, I want to start this video by thanking each of you for joining me today. If you have not yet subscribed, I'd be so honored if you'd consider doing so. And hey, if you like this video, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And if you want to know when the latest content is available, don't forget to click that notification bell. Today, we're back with a Samsung product. I have done several videos on, the smaller home security cameras. Samsung SmartThings Cam is available out on the market. It's been out for a little bit now. It is something that is fully capable of running with your Samsung SmartThings ecosystem, which I think is very important. And I wanted to do a comparison, sorry about that knock over there, a comparison to the Smartcam Plus. So this was the product that was basically the original one that Samsung SmartThings used. It has Samsung branding on it, but it's actually a Wisnet product, and they dropped support a while back, leaving us with very limited cameras that worked with the ecosystem. So what I'm going to do today is, of course, I will show you the two cameras side by side and talk about what different specs they have. Just to make it clear, this is still a product that works. It just doesn't work with the Samsung SmartThings ecosystem. And I want to talk about that for a moment. So Samsung SmartThings is a kind of one and all ecosystem. What it does is it takes all these smart plugs and smart bulbs and all this stuff that we want, and it brings it into one app or one ecosystem. Then you can hook your Google up or your Alexa up and do voice control through Samsung SmartThings. But the biggest reason I believe in the hub still today, because remember, when these smart products came out, most of them needed a hub, and now most of them are Wi-Fi, because as a consumer, we think, oh, Wi-Fi is easier, you don't need a hub. But there is a negative to that. So if we are going to use like a Z-Wave radio, we no longer need to bog down our Wi-Fi. So most people have a modem and they don't know a lot about it. And that is not the fault of the customer. It's kind of the fault of the companies making them. We're sold by what's on the box. But the truth is, the more items connected to any router, some are better than others, of course, it will start to bog down the items that you want to use most. Streaming movies, gaming, downloading games. So anytime you can not have something hooked up to your Wi-Fi, but still be able to control it as if it was, that is a plus. Now, what I like to do is go through the products that I want to use. So I'm a Samsung fan. I have Samsung TVs, washing machine, refrigerator, and the list goes on and on. I want all-in-one ecosystem, and I wanted a camera that works. I can watch it on my Samsung TV if someone comes to my house. Zone detection will go off on my TVs. It will go off on my smart fridge, and I'm going to show you what it looks like on there. But what I'm saying is I encourage you to build the ecosystem that you want to use most. Google, Nest, great products, but they're going to work with certain products only. Now, this kind of hurts the consumer, but they've kind of separated themselves. But if you want to get the best experience, what I recommend doing is, one, seeing what kind of router you have and being honest with yourself. Is it good enough for what you want? Do you have the speed? And does it have the wireless capabilities to run multiple devices? Now, I'm gonna tell you the bad news with that is I'm running, 30, 38 devices at once. Those routers are typically in the $400 and up range. I've done several videos on the Netgear X10, the AC3200, and some other ones that you could check out. I will be doing the latest AX router as soon as I can get it. But they are getting better and better for the smart home, because we all know the smart home is growing. Everybody wants these devices and we want them to work. So that I wanted to get out of the way. What you want is a minimum of 100 to 300 megabyte download speeds. Now, if you can get gig, I highly recommend it, especially if you want max performance. 2.4 gigahertz will give you the longest distance, but the slower speed, and 5 gigahertz will give you a little shorter distance, which has gotten much better now, but the faster speeds. So if you can get these cameras on your 5 gigahertz and you have, 300 megabytes or faster, you will have no problems. Typically, when you look at cameras, you get a bunch of negative reviews. The sad fact to that is most of the time it's the consumer not realizing they don't have enough power coming into their house with their Wi-Fi to run their devices properly. But we're gonna get into this camera, see what it can do, and do a comparison. Thank you for joining me. Let's get started. All right, give you a quick look at the package before I open it. Don't worry, I will cover the specs in this video in detail. But basically, you're gonna need to download the SmartThings app if you have not done so already. These are the stores that you can get them on, so pretty much everything you'll need. And a quick breakdown, two-way audio, 1080p video with HDR, person detection, and 24 hours of free cloud storage. I want to mention that that's important. Most of these cameras nowadays, you have to pay a monthly charge. This will at least give you 24 hours of free recordings, which does not mean you only get 1 day of free service. It means that they will hold your recordings for 1 day. So let's open this up. All right, they have this taped down pretty good here, but this white box will slide out. We're greeted with the welcome manual and then, of course, little instruction booklet. And here we go, here's the camera. Let's get this out. They give you everything you need. I want to make this very clear. A lot of people ask this about the last series. You have to plug these in the wall. It gives you a white cable, looks like it's pretty long, that's nice. Gives you a few mounting screws if you wanna do that. And then let's get this camera out. Again, we have a nice big ultra wide lens. Then we have a microphone here and a microphone here. We have the status LED up top. And then we have the light sensor at the bottom. We have the big 1-watt speaker on the back. Here's your connection button. Again, this can be adjusted to whatever works for you. And then you can mount it here or of course set it on a flat surface. FYI, the IR code is under this. We'll look at that during setup to get it set up. And then of course the power plug simply goes in there. Let's do a quick side-by-side look of the last generation so you can see them next to each other. All right, real quickly, I'm gonna put some screenshots up so you can compare the two side by side. If you need more time, go ahead and pause it. Quickly, I wanna just point out what the biggest differences are in my eyes. First thing is the new version has a 145 ultra wide field of view, and the old edition had 130, so you get a better wide angle with the new. Also, the new version has 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, which if you know about Wi-Fi, this will make your experience faster. You'll get a better crystal clear picture when you're trying to upload or watch your video live. Also, the new version has the two-way audio, which they both do, built-in mics, but the new version has a much bigger 1-watt speaker. In addition to that, the old version here has a micro SD slot. The new version no longer has that. And to make this very clear one last time, the Samsung WiseNet no longer interacts with Samsung SmartThings. It was dropped quite a while ago, making the ability to just see it in one ecosystem disappear. So with the new SmartThings cam, you will be able to, example, see it on your QLED TV and so on and so forth, all through the SmartThings app. Let's jump into setup. Time for setup. Go ahead and get your device handy and your camera. First thing you're gonna do is plug it in right there, and you're gonna see that it's gonna start to blink amber or red. What you're gonna need to do is hold down this button for a full 15 seconds, maybe even 16. You will hear it click and this will start to blink blue. Next, on the bottom, this panel slides off. To get it off, you push and slide forward and it will slide right off. There is a QR code down there that I will use to connect it. Obviously, for my privacy, I won't show it on camera. Got my Samsung SmartThings app. Gonna go ahead and press the plus symbol, add device. Now, up here you can see the QR reader. What you're gonna wanna do, go ahead, hold down that button, wait for it to turn blue, and then we're gonna scan it. Holding down that button there. Starts to blink blue here in a second. You'll hear the click. Okay, now we're ready to go. So go ahead, open your app, get that QR scanner ready. Sorry about that, we'll get this here. Looks kind of like this. I'll do this part off camera. Turn back red there. Now I can go ahead and hit start. Plug camera into outlet, we already did that. Go ahead and select your location. This is my home. It's gonna go ahead and connect to camera. Now I wanna make this very clear. You want your phone or device to be on either your 2.4 gigahertz or your 5 gigahertz, whatever you want your camera connected to. I suggest the 5 gigahertz, make sure your device is connected to it because it's going to use your device to connect to the internet. As you can see, it's going through processes. Now it's connected. It's being registered to my account. We're almost ready to go. As you can see, now the light has turned green. That means the camera itself is connecting. It's still syncing with my Samsung account. Now it's going to give you the ability to name it. We'll just leave it that for now. Go ahead down at the bottom corner and hit done. All right, so immediately takes me to my SmartThings hub. It should be right up top. So now it says you can use SmartThings video with your SmartThings cam. You're gonna wanna hit get started. It gives you a 30-day free trial. We'll do later on this for now. So now we're all ready to go. As you can see me sitting here, it's live. All right, let's compare the two camera software. So we'll start with the SmartThings cam. We have video resolution, full HD or standard HDR, night vision, wide view. You can turn that on and off. You can flip the image, you can watermark it. You can pick the detection zone. So if you wanna, not get the ground, so maybe it doesn't pick up a small pet, you can set it to record automatically. Audio sensitivity, that's to set it off if you want audio. You can change the recording time. Just record video or audio, speaker volume, and then shut that status light off, which I know a lot of people, especially my wife, does not like. So that's a great feature. Then of course, you can see it's very easy. We have record photo, microphone, sound on and off, or full screen. You can see on the bottom the history, and that's where they would record if they had, motion detection from a person. And I just thought I would show you video quality. Now this is in my office, all the lights off. This is a live feed. I'm moving it back and forth. I'm holding it. As you can see, it does a very good job, especially in the dark. And it even picks up vivid and bold colors. So really good quality. This is the Smartcam HD Plus. General settings are basically your time zone and timestamp. You have video. Now the video I just wanted to show you is not nearly as good. Again, this just runs off the 2.4 gigahertz. This is the same, area I was just showing with the SmartThings cam, and this is pretty much gritty. But this is of course dark. This is still a great product, especially considering how inexpensive it is. I wanted to show you down at the bottom your features. You have night vision, you can adjust the brightness, WDR and LDC. Of course, you have event detection. So if it detects motion or audio, it will, of course, alert you through text message or email. Also here you can see you can put a micro SD card. You can have continuous recording, and it can overwrite once it fills up whatever size. In this case, I had a 15 gig micro SD card. So for those of you that still want something with an alarm on it, yes, this has kind of a mild alarm. It will bark like a dog. It'll do a fire siren, if someone sets it off. There's multiple things like that. So there is still a benefit, but the biggest benefit to maybe going with this one is it's extremely inexpensive. When I bought it, they were $129 a camera. I've seen them refurbished for like a 3-pack for the same price. So it's a good ecosystem. It doesn't seem like something that's well supported. They tried to do like where you can buy a membership, and it got canceled about 2 months after it started. So it's more or less just a micro SD or live view, and that's really it. There is no option to have online storage. All right, so best part of the house, the TV. This is a Samsung QLED TV, and as you can see, we have Samsung SmartThings. You want to make sure that you're on the proper home if you have multiple homes. So we are on home 1 here. This, I have all of the items set up that I want for this video. And here is the SmartThings cam. Remember, multiple cams, you can flip through all the cameras. You can have a live feed. So what happens, as soon as I go over to it, boom, it's on a live feed. If I want to see full view, it's going to give me a live feed full view. And I could flip back and forth through different cameras. But the best thing is, again, you can watch your kids, or if you're waiting for a package and you have one at the front door, you'll know, that kind of thing. Now, I want you to also notice how fast it connects. This is why I say it's so important to have a good router and the proper speeds. If you're having a slow experience, you need to look into your router. I can't say that enough. And you need to call your provider and make sure that you have their best available speeds. Once you buy those available speeds, you also need to often check your provider and make sure they're actually giving them to you. That's a whole other story, but a lot of time, I'm telling you this right now, you upgrade to, let's just say 500 megs, and you'd be shocked that you're only getting 300. Do your speed test, know your stuff, you'll have a great result. The fact that it's on the QLED, it's great. So this is why it's important to have an ecosystem. All these smart items actually start making sense. We have the Samsung Smart Fridge. This is the 4-door Flex. This will work on any of Samsung. You know, they have many different options with this hub. As you can see, we have Samsung SmartThings here. I want you to also keep in mind that this has an AKG soundbar allowing you sound. Why do I say that? Well, let me give you a few cases that this is really useful in the kitchen. You need to cook dinner, then you have your kids upstairs, or you have an infant that you want to give a nap. You can actually, at any time, leave this on live view. So right now we're connecting to live view. This is a live view. You would have sound. I can actually hear the feedback from myself. And this also would still be a motion detector. So if someone entered a part of your property you don't want, or they came in, or maybe your child came home from school, you would know on all of your devices connected. That's what this is here, but this is just a live view. And then of course you can back out at any time. But this is why having an ecosystem is an important thing. So we can view not only this, but we can view our Ring camera at our door. And remember, we have 24 hours of free recording. And if you want to buy a service plan, you can have multiple cameras and see them all right from your smart fridge. All right, so mobile detection. I'm going to do a tablet. Same can be done on the phone. First thing I want to show you is event history. Now, if you could see this, you will see all events. Now, on these events, it will say motion detected, sound detected, but if you scroll down and it does person, which I have it set to just person detection, it will automatically record the clip. So right here, clip recorded, 10 minutes, 18 seconds. So it's nice because you don't have to have these running all the time. It uses a motion sensor, and once it picks up motion, and it's pretty good about detecting humans only, it starts to record. Then of course, if you have the plan, you can, view it at any time. Otherwise you have 24 hours. Now, again, this is what it looks like on the tablet as a live view. Nice thing here is you can decide to record at any time. Let's just say there's someone in your house and you're watching it, you can hit record. You can actually take snapshots of portions of the video to get a photo. And then of course you can talk to them through the camera. So, has a pretty, I believe it was the 1-watt speaker we talked about. It's loud, the speaker picks up good, and so far it's just a really good device. Now, after you have everything set up, if you have any issues, what I recommend doing is, especially if you have multiple cameras, turn all of your cameras off, unplug your modem, unplug your router. Plug in your modem, let that fully reboot. Plug in your router, let that fully reboot, and then go plug in all your cameras, giving everything a fresh connection. I actually do this before I leave the house, especially on a trip or if I'm going to another home or anything in that nature. I want to make sure that I have a good network connection. But as you can see, this is really useful. It's a great camera, great quality, wide angle lens, great speaker, great mic. It really is a win-win, must buy. Well, that sums up the Samsung SmartThings Cam. This is definitely a product I think that you should own, especially if you work off the Samsung ecosystem, or if you're gonna get yourself a Samsung TV or have one or appliance. It definitely works, it works well, and I'm actually very impressed. And honestly, I'm really happy that they finally have a camera that works flawlessly with their ecosystem. As always, I want to slow things down for a moment and remind you, life is so short. Don't forget to love your family, love your neighbors, take care of each other. Go out today and do a kind act for someone. The smallest kind gesture can go such a long way. The world is a sick and twisted place, and the only people that can change it is you and I. And though we all love tech, we want to remember to never put technology over human interaction. It is so important that we keep that alive. After all, we need each other to survive. I also want to remind you, I do YouTube for you and you only. If you have questions that I missed or comments, please reach me in the comments section. Honestly, I get back to everyone that I know has messaged me with a legitimate question, and I am glad to help. Don't forget, you can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at JB Tech Fanatic. I want to invite you one last time to subscribe. I'm so honored that you watched. I can't wait to talk to you in the comments and see you in the next video. And until then, I'm JB Tech Fanatic and I'm out. Peace.